Did you know if a YouTube channel works with a brand to recommend and endorse their product, that channel is legally required to disclose that relationship with its audience? And yet there are plenty of channels on YouTube, and even some right here within the watch collecting genre, that don't transparently disclose their obvious brand relationships. Now what's worse, there are brands actively encouraging YouTubers to use deceptive promotion tactics in order to get better results from their social media influencers. And unfortunately, yes, I have an example. So this video, it's going to serve as a primer for my viewers on what exactly sponsored content on my channel means. It will also make clear to advertisers that unlike other channels, I will not deceive the viewers of my content. And hopefully it will encourage other channels to do the right thing and make clear their brand relationships. I always try to be honest and transparent with you guys when it comes to brand relationships, and yet I still get chastised and called a shill by some viewers when that little blurb at the bottom of the screen saying includes paid promotion pops up. It's down here or over here somewhere. Regardless, it looks a little something like that. Now, here's the real problem. Not that channels are honest about their brand relationships, it's that other channels don't disclose their sponsorships and they try to deceive you by appearing to be completely independent. And here's an example. I had a brand sponsor a few of my videos. It's a common type of paid sponsorship deal where in the beginning of the video, the host shouts out the brand and tells the audience about the product and, of course, their website. It's not a full product review, it's basically just a brief commercial. Now, in this type of paid promotion, as per the law, you are obligated to inform the viewer that it's a brand-sponsored advertisement. So let's say I made a video on the topic, Rolex sucks, and it was a sponsored video. Well, at the beginning of the video, I'd say this video is sponsored by Acme watch products, and then I'd give you a short spiel about them, then I'd go on and talk about the topic of the video for the next 10 minutes like normal. I did a half dozen or so of these types of shoutouts for the brand for an agreed upon price, and they weren't really happy with the results. They didn't think that the strategy of telling the viewer that it was a sponsored advertisement was effective. In fact, this is what they said to me in an email discussing doing more of these promotions. They said, ideally, we'd like to see a stronger return. I'm not certain the paid promos work very well compared to subtle wristwatch checks, similar to how other channels promote us. So what they were doing was basically actively encouraging me to break the law and deceive the viewers about the nature of the relationship that I had with them. Because, hey, that's what their other influencers do. Well, we can only guess who they were talking about because the brand didn't disclose names, but when I was negotiating my price to work with them in the beginning, they thought that the price that I quoted was a bit too high compared to what other people charged them. And they actually told me in a recent sponsorship we completed with another watch enthusiast channel that has almost 400,000 subscribers. It was for 5 videos with links for a price similar to yours, kind of implying that my much smaller channel was charging too much. Now, I haven't watched all of the person who I assume that they're talking about's videos. Maybe that channel does disclose that they have a sponsored partnership with the brand in some of their videos and I just missed those. But in their videos that I have seen, I noticed that they will do the subtle wristwatch check thing and they will mention the brand name and they'll say how much they love the product. Yet nowhere did they mention a brand relationship. Not in the video, not in the description of that video, and not with that little paid promotion pop-up thingy. But hey, I guess it's possible that they're talking about a different channel with 400,000 subscribers. I don't know. Regardless, this is exactly what the brand was asking me to do in order to influence and deceive you into buying their products. And I don't do that. It's unethical, it's against the law, and that is the definition of being a shill. I do occasionally do a few different types of brand-sponsored videos on this channel. It's not super common, but when I do them, I try to be transparent with the viewer. But in case you weren't already aware of how they work, I'll be clear on what types of brand relationships I have done on this channel, and I'll briefly outline them now. First, and the most common type of brand deal is when I'm loaned a watch, or a product, any product for that matter, to do a video on. I've been loaned dozens or maybe even over 100 watches since I've been doing YouTube, and every time I'm loaned a product for review, I tell the viewer that the product is on loan and of course who it's on loan from. Once I'm done with it, I return it. The next type of brand relationship, and it's a common type to see on any watch channel, is when the brand gives the reviewer a watch or a product to keep. Now in this case, they're not paid a fee to do the video, but they are given free products. Now, quite often, I'll use the product as a giveaway prize, but that doesn't mean that it's not still a sponsored video. Now, what you should understand about these types of videos is that if I don't like the product, I just return it to the brand and I never make the video. And even though I'm compensated vis-a-vis a free product, my opinions on the review are still genuine. I only make the video if I feel like I can be honest with my presentation. And of course, it is fully disclosed that I was given the product for free. There's also the least common type of brand deal, which is of course the straight up paid sponsorship. The most common example being the previously mentioned shout out style promotion, which is a quick 20 or 30-second blurb at the beginning of the video telling you guys about the brand and their product or website. I've done this with brands like the auction website watchtowear.com and the watch repair service TikTok Watch Repair. Now in these cases, I'm not doing a review of their product or their service, I'm just telling you about them and where you can go to find them. And of course, in these types of videos, I usually start out by saying something along the lines of this video is sponsored by blah, blah, blah. There's other types of paid sponsorships as well, like where a brand might pay a fee for permission to repost my content to their website or social media, but regardless of the structure of the relationship, one thing never changes. I never sell editorial control of my content to the brand, meaning I always produce the content that I want and I give my honest and unfiltered opinion of the product. That is not for sale. This message is for the brands hoping to find someone willing to deceive and manipulate viewers into buying their products. Look elsewhere. I don't do that. And for the YouTube channels willing to do that sort of thing, the FTC has published a simple 8-page document entitled Disclosure 101 for social media influencers. I kind of recommend you familiarize yourself with that. I'll leave a link to the document down in the description of this video if you'd like to read it. The next part is a message for the viewers, and I'd like you to be skeptical of people on YouTube. If a channel continuously and repeatedly mentions and name drops a micro brand or a watch strap company or some sort of service in multiple videos time and again and never discloses that they have a relationship with that brand, one of two things is true. Number one, it's probably a really popular brand like Rolex or Seiko, and those brands do not do brand deals with anyone on YouTube. Or number two, they are being paid to promote the brand and trying to manipulate you into buying their product. I get emails almost every single day from random brands asking me to review their products, asking me how much I charge for promotional videos, and of course asking me to help them grow their customer base. Now I almost always decline, or usually just straight up ignore the message, because 99 times out of 100, these are brands or products that I have no interest in and I don't want to promote them on my channel. So when I do choose a brand to have a relationship with, I want you to know that I chose them because I like the people involved with the brand, or I really like the product that they offer. An excellent example of this is Exquisite Timepieces. They're the watch dealer that loans me watches regularly. They're a fantastic group of people that have treated me like family, and I wholeheartedly recommend and support them. Now, I'm sure most of the channels here on YouTube operate much in the same way. They only promote brands and products that they believe in, but there are some who aren't transparent when it comes to their brand relationships, and at least for me, it's pretty obvious who those guys are. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video pulling the curtain back on how sponsored content works here on YouTube. I also hope that it made clear what you can expect from me and what you'll see here on my channel. I also hope that you're in a better position to be aware of the types of things that are going on meant to deceive and, of course, manipulate you. See, when you accuse someone like me, or anyone else for that matter, who's trying to be as transparent as possible of being a shill, you're making it pretty clear that number one, you have no idea what that word means, and it shows how easily manipulated you are by the channels who don't make clear their brand relationships. With that said, I guess it's time to wrap this one up for today, so I'm going to go ahead, sign off, and say bye now.